Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Anyone out there? Anyone at all? Hello. Good day. I'm doing well. I tried to stream earlier, just before Joey, and somehow had the stream set to private. So, yeah. I wondered why no one came. And by the time I figured that out, it was when Joey went to streaming. So I just held off. I know Swindon's streaming. I've been watching his videos. He's enjoyable to watch. Like he's in 30 minutes. Hello. I hope no one minds today, but hello. I've got some switch lights to repair. I don't know why, but I've kind of gotten into a mood of working on switch lights. I've done about 20 of them. Yeah, Swindon. Yeah, I watched him. He's fun to watch. He is fun to watch. There's just a genuine joy in what he's doing, you can tell. I have not had opportunity to do any streaming or much of anything else. But today, maybe for a couple of hours, I can do a little streaming. It's been so long, I almost forgot how to do it, and that's why I ended up, tried earlier and didn't quite work out. So I have 4 switch lights here. And I'm hoping these are in pretty good shape, because I bought from this seller before, and they, oh, he could have put some padding between the things. Oh, come on. I mean, really? You had to stack them together. Okay. It's unexpected. But overall in pretty good condition. Hello. Oh, my live yesterday was accidental. If any of you saw the live, I was trying to record. And shout out to OBS for putting the start streaming next to the start recording button. So that was an unintentional stream. Let me put these to the side. That was unintentional. I'm trying to, get used to using OBS. And, recording some of my videos on OBS. Doing everything in OBS and capturing it and all that, and then doing some editing afterwards. I'm trying to get used to doing that. Not quite there, but we're getting there. But let's see. I don't make, I make a little bit of money on these, maybe 20, 30 bucks or something. They sell for about $100 here in the U.S. is what I've been noticing. That seems to be all I can get out of them anyway. So, but I have fun with them. So, it's got a pretty good bite taken out of the button there. That right shoulder button. Well, anyway, do we have a... Why is this not showing me? Just a moment, let me fix something. Or not, it's just ignoring me. Oh well. Oh, Dan, you trying to get into PSU repair supply? Supply repair, I should say. Yeah. I like power supplies. They are a challenge. You know, most people avoid them. I like them. Well, first thing I need to do, kind of think of it, is take a look down in this port. And this is the part I'm going to struggle with, is remembering to switch the cameras, you know, and that kind of stuff. But I'll try. All right, microscope. Let's look down inside this USB-C port and remember to turn the light back on. Okay, we have one pin folded back. So I'm not going to try to charge it. Doesn't look like it's shorted, but it's kind of neatly folded back. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I also find, like, you know, probably 90% of these things are liquid damage, it seems. They get left outside or something. Maybe this is just a bad port. I was oh, missing screw. That's not good. Missing screw. So somebody's been into it already. I hate to see that, but it is what it is. Sometimes I get a free game in them. Not this time, probably. Nope. Last night I was watching the computer booter replace a USB-C port, and apparently he does not like doing it on the switches because he melts the port, and I have that problem myself sometimes. I've gotten a little bit better once I figured out that it's not an HDMI port on a PS5, so you don't have to use 500 degrees Celsius and max airflow. You can be a little kinder and gentler. Once I figured that out, things became a whole lot easier. And do we have liquid damage? Well, broken plastic. Where is that from, I wonder? It's round. It's from a screw hole. Oh, there's the other half of it down there. Right there. So, yeah, I might need those. I might maybe be able to glue them back, but depends on where they are. Hello, Blind Bodger. Hello. All right, David. Well, thanks for coming by. I've got some things I need to be doing outside in the yard, but here we are. There's always other things to do. And then there's repairing electronics. So pick what you will. I am just genuinely surprised this one is not liquid damaged. Well, I say that. I have not seen the liquid indicator yet. No. No liquid damage. Perfect. I was just trying to see if it's been worked on anywhere. I don't see anything. Well, this is going to be an easy one. Famous last words, but wait a minute, is that? No, that's a capacitor. I thought I saw some corrosion. You know, these connectors are these 29-pin connectors. Those things attract water, along with the ribbon connector for the backlight. those things. The water goes straight to those. Anyway, hello. Oh yeah, I don't do a lot of streams though, Blind Bodger. I mean, I'd like to, and in the coming summer, I probably will. I just don't have a lot of time off from work. Right now, I've got like 10 days off in a row, which rarely happens. So, yeah. I've got several things I need to get done in this time. I do have some more PS5s coming. They're not here yet. I have 2 more. And I can't remember what their problems were. Probably no power. I do have quite a few of these switch lights. I don't know. I've worked on these before, but I kind of got away from them. And now here I am back again. Oh, is he sending me one? No, I don't think I want that one. I saw part of his stream. I was watching. I was kind of in and out. I had some other things to do while I had his stream going. I didn't notice if he looked at the corner of the APU or not. You know, it's more you can tell. If the corner of the APU is crunchy, it's gone. So I didn't see, you know, if he had checked, you know, if the APU voltages were coming up momentarily. You know, the 0.8, 0.9, the 2-phase, the 6-phase, and then the RAM voltage. I didn't see if he had checked all those. Like I said, I was kind of in and out. But those APUs, they do die. Although I have the feeling that the biggest problem with the PS5s is going to be the RAM. And I'm not sure if they push it too hard or if the RAM is just poor quality. But there's just lots of problems with RAM. Oh, you were editing? Yeah, I saw you hiding those comments. Interesting. The people that come out sometimes. Well, I finally gotten to the point on these things. I don't really have to keep up with the screws. I know where they go now. I kind of know where they go, so I don't have to, you know, take pictures anymore or draw a map or set them in any particular way because I kind of know where they go. I've had pretty good luck with these. I've started getting some parts in. Some of these Max ICs, I have some new ones now. I've got these 29-pin connectors because they're common. You know, water gets up under the edge of them. You've got like 17 volts on there, which the backlight, you know, is here, travels all the way through here and comes out over here. And it just, you know, I've seen it burn holes in the board. So I have those connectors. I do sometimes still melt them, even though I'm heating from below. They're just, you know, they're just plastic. It's one of those things that takes practice, and I'm still working on it. I haven't replaced a lot of FPC connectors. I guess people that work on phones a lot have to do that kind of stuff. I never worked on phones. It didn't really interest me. For some reason, I don't know, just game consoles interest me. Oh, come on, pop off of there. Okay. So what am I forgetting? Well, I'm forgetting this other 29 pin. I'm also forgetting the battery, which I'm going to imagine is dead. Let me check that battery. There's a test point there. Oh, just curious how, I'm sure it's dead. How dead is it though? Yeah. That's pretty dead. Is my meter working? Oh wait, this isn't working here, is it? Sorry, my on-screen meter is not working, I don't think. One second. What are you doing? Maybe I need to restart the software. I'm experimenting with the, hey Joey. Hey Joey. I don't know if you just got here. I was trying to stream just before you started, and I accidentally had it set to private because I'm an idiot and I don't stream very often. It was set to private. I couldn't figure out why nothing was working. And when I figured out that it was set to private, that's when you started streaming. So well, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for Joey to get through. Oh, come on, software. Oh. Joey had his share of trouble with his on-screen multimeter, and now I am as well. Because I know what happened. I'm running this on a laptop off to the side here, and I let the laptop go to sleep. And, you know, some things just don't recover from it. I closed the lid down, so it decided to just not work anymore. Hey, there we go. I think we're working. Now, if I pick the right scene, hey, we have on-screen meter again. Yay. I was just checking this battery. Okay, it is still dead. Yeah, there's nothing there. So, I can't recall. Maybe some of you remember. Will a switch light charge its battery from 0 volts? Because what I've done in the past, I need to disconnect that battery. What I've done in the past is I'll manually charge this battery up. You know, I'll put 3 volts in it or something. I just don't know if it will start from 0 volts. Oh yeah, the Agilent, I'm pretty sure it does have an IR sensor. Yeah, on the back of it here. This is my meter I bought off eBay from Ben Heck. Some of you know who Ben Heck is. Benjamin Heckendorf used to have a YouTube channel. He still has a YouTube channel, but he doesn't work for, you know, Element 14 or Newark or whoever it is these days. But yeah, that was his meter. He signed it for me. But yeah, it does have it. Okay. What I usually do, I'll show you what I usually do if I can. I'm not sure if I have all these views set up. I need to get just buy, you know, one of these battery connectors. I think I may actually have some. I know I have some for the regular switch. I'm not sure about the switch light, which this is a 3-pin. I think the regular switch is like a 4-pin. Just for the heck of it, I'll show you what I usually do. If I have a view. Still. Come on, cameras. Give me a moment. I'm going to switch to this camera, and I bet you it's not going to work. So bear with me. Hey, it worked. Wow, it worked one time in a row. It's just a little USB webcam here. and sometimes it just doesn't want to play ball. So I'm going to charge it. While I'm changing this port out, I'll put a little juice into this battery. If I can show you, I may have to go to the microscope to show you. Where are my leads? My little tiny wires. Here they are. There's one. There's the other. This is just some, you know, copper solid wire here that I flattened out. We might as well go to the microscope. Swindon is going live. It's a good day to be on YouTube, isn't it? Microscope. All right. Let me show you. Oh, look at that. Now I know where that broken plastic came from. Look right down in there. The mount for this little analog stick is popped loose, so I kind of need that. Anyway, here's my little wire that I have. I kind of made a loop on the end of it and soldered it and flattened out the end of it. I have two of these, and I will get this in focus. I just kind of stick them in right there and there. Okay, like so. And let me see. I'm going to set my bench power supply over here to about 4 volts and 100 milliamps of current limiting. Because I don't want to stress the battery, although it's, you know, a lithium-ion battery being 0 volts is stressing it enough. They don't like to go to 0. But these seem to come back. So let me show you. I'm going to turn on this power supply. So we're at 2.5 volts and we're drawing 100 milliamps. And I'm just going to slowly, you know, let it charge up to about, you know, once it gets up to like 3.5 volts, no problem. The onboard will take over. It may go from 0. I just can't remember. I need to do a test, I guess. I want to say one of them, maybe it was the full-size switch. I didn't want to charge it from 0. Hello, afternoon. Yeah, I need to come up with a better way of doing it, but this is how I'm doing it right now as far as making that attachment. All right, now, well, that's charging in the background. Get that out of the way. Slide that up a little, give me a little more room. I'm afraid this may be a little bit boring. Get that speaker out of the way. I think it's just going to be the port. We know we have one folded back pin in there. And I am not an expert on these ports, but I'll do it anyway. Where are my ports? Here we go. I've got like 20 more of these coming from China, and the price hasn't gone up yet. I'm not sure if those tariffs are going to kick in. I'm not sure if the tariffs are only on finished goods above a certain value. I don't know. But for right now, these ports are still cheap. I can't tell. Oh, it's okay. Just want to see how many people were watching. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to tin this port. This is the hardest thing for me to do, is just to remember to switch between cameras. I guess I need some kind of a controller. But I'm new at this. I'm just starting out. I'm not a professional like Joey. Joey's a professional content creator. Anyway, I do have some other things I need to do today. Get a little more flux. Okay. Let's see if I can replace a port on a live stream. I'm not used to being watched as I do it. Anyway, I'll show you how I do it. Let's see. First of all, I use this Omni vise. Let me show you. Yeah, there is some pressure. There's always pressure. I use this little Omni vise to elevate it a little. And I can bring it out here to the edge of the bench, and I'll get my microscope over the top of it, like so. One moment, don't I have a, I'm still getting my scenes set up. I thought. Yeah, I thought I had a scene. That's not very helpful, is it? Well, you'll be able to see if the battery blows up back there. How about that? It's up to 3.17 volts, still drawing 100 milliamps, as it should. I'll show you how I do these things. Although I am not an expert. Probably will go about 400 or so. I think I can do it at 350, but try to make sure everything is in the shot for some exciting USB port action here. Of course, removing it is easy. It's putting it back on without destroying it that's the hard part. And I am still working on that. And I don't hot drop these ports because it doesn't work well for me. So it's off. Now what I'm going to do is clean out these mounting holes. That's just how I find the best way of doing it. I think I may just go ahead and clean off these pads. This is how I like to do it, because it's that much less you're having to fight with to get the port to sit down. Because I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible to, reduce the melt. I may have to add some leaded solder to get that out. There's always one side that does not want to cooperate. Always. Alrighty. If that's what we're going to do today, let me add a little leaded solder to that. Trim off this wick. Well, come on. The wick was not cooperating. Almost. Almost. Oh, come on. Nope, that was not going to cooperate. It's always one of them. Let's see if I could push that out of the way. I don't know if that one's, I don't think that one's not clear either. That means I'm going to have to flip the board over. That's what I was trying to avoid, was having to flip the board over and remove the solder from the other side. But it couldn't go smoothly. Yeah, I don't have too good a luck hot dropping them in there. They just want to melt. Probably need to practice some more. That one's still not cooperating. Sometimes. Those little ones. Add a little leaded solder down in there. It couldn't be easy. It just couldn't be easy. Okay. Not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. I have to remember, I'm not really in a hurry. I'm not punching a clock here. I don't have a quota to get done today. I'm adding, this is a low melt solder. It's not wanting to cooperate either. All right, that went in there. I got a gob of it there. Now, won't you please cooperate? That's better. Then you. There we go. There you go. Nice and clean. Sometimes it comes right out. Usually it doesn't, though. Clean up our mess a little. Battery's up to 3.315 volts. Definitely the onboard charger will take over from at least there, I'm sure. I wonder if our M92 is good on this one. I didn't see any shorted pins. There's just that one folded back on itself. So I'm kind of hoping our M92 survived. That is my hope. I'm just trying to even out the solder on some of these pads, especially these ground ones. Okay, that might work. Yeah, the M92 will go. Because I'm sure what happens is you end up with 15 volts going places that were never meant to have 15 volts. Alright. Get rid of any fuzz. That looks pretty darn clean. And let me put this back in the Omni vise here. Let's see, where were we? Okay. Get a little flux on there. I got my port standing by. Now I'm probably just going to go with like 350, I think now, because this is leaded solder. So, can we do this without melting it? I don't know. Don't watch. So yeah, I'm going to heat it up. Watch for that solder to kind of flow. There it goes. All right, now, come on now, sit down. That did not go as fast as I would have liked, so we may have some meltage. That'll work. We don't have to look at the bottom side, do we? We can just assume it's all good. We can just assume it's all good underneath. Hey, agree. Yeah, I think we're pretty good and flat. Maybe a little shifted to the side, but not going to hurt anything. Okay. Okay, I think I will go ahead and secure those mounting points. I'd like to check the port, but I just hate pushing around that port with nothing but the the pins back there supporting the pressure. That's just me. Yeah, I used to do these ports when I first tried to do these. I guess everybody starts out doing like HDMI ports on, like I did on PS4s. And those boards and everything took so much heat. No problem, you had to try to melt that port. And then you come to do something like this. My goodness, I cooked some ports. So many innocent ports were destroyed because you still feel like you have to have 450, 500 degrees at max airflow. No, you really don't. The board's a lot thinner. I'll probably hit it up from the other side too. And I try not to get solder on that little screw hole there. I feel so bad when I get sloppy, and if I get over on that, if you know what I mean. I mean, you like for it to look clean. Okay. So how do we look on the other side now? Well, like we need some solder. That's what we look like. I'll just run that on up there. And you on up there. Now can we do... So yeah, the way I do it takes longer. Going through the trouble of cleaning out those holes and all that. But I'm not usually in a hurry. Not usually. Since I'm just a hobbyist, having some fun. Come on, cooperate. There you go. I think I bumped the battery connector. I bumped it. Shame. I have brought shame upon my family. Okay. At least it won't fall off. Now I'll kind of clean it up some though. Can we clean it up a little? Battery's up to 3.4 volts. Put a little bit of heat on this, just to loosen up that flux. finished product looked. Let me go back. That should work. And the other side. Missed some flux down here. But yeah, I didn't melt the port. One time in a row, I didn't melt the port. All right. I'm assuming I didn't melt the inside of the port. If I didn't melt the back of the port, I should not have melted. I have melted the inside of the port before. I've done it. I have done it. Okay. So, I apologize for not reading chat. Yeah, the broken ports. Yeah, you have to wonder, why they chose the USB-C. I mean, it's a great port. I think the USB-C is, because you can do, audio and video and data and all that through it. But you put it in the hands of a 6-year-old, and it's just not going to be a good outcome, and it's just not. All right, let's just see if this thing will charge now. I got to do something about this darn. I'm going to try to glue that, aren't I? Or this case is just no good. I've got those pieces. I'm going to take this other analog stick out because that other mount's cracked also, and I'm going to end up finishing it off if I don't get that out of the way. Yep. I'm going to have to try to fix that. I've got some plastic glue, but it's not super fast. I'm not sure if I can salvage that or not, but I need to. Otherwise, I don't have any spare housings. I don't think I have a spare, coral housing to put this in. Anyway. Oops, there's our old port coming back for a visit. I have to check every now to make sure I actually swap the scenes back. Because I know I've done that before. I've forgotten to switch back. And now I'll just be working away and oh, come on. These little buttons are being a problem back here. All right. At least the shoulder button's intact. Those get broken a lot, these little buttons up here. But I think the most common thing I've seen on these is liquid damage. Liquid damage, taking out the backlight ribbon cable. And I usually just try to fix them because, like if you get the backlight cable over here is damaged, that's attached to the LCD screen. It's not worth replacing the screen. Just sad but true. Okay, do I have all my ribbon? I'm going to put a couple of screws in this thing. I just like having the port stable and not moving around when I plug something into it. Where's my other screwdriver? The one that's slightly magnetic. Slightly. Okay, let me use the microscope. Have I used the A290? I used it for PS4s when I was my preheater. I used it for PS4s. The few times that I did APU revols, the few times I did that, because really you pretty much have to because of the temperature you've got to get the board to. That's why I originally bought that preheater, was for attempting to do, you know, reballs on PS4s. And I have some others I probably need to do. I know in my closet there's a stack of PS4s that, you know, like the original series of PS4s that had so many problems with, you know, broken solder balls under the APU. But time is the thing, you know. And, you know, I'll probably do them, but it's one of those things that they're not really worth fixing. I mean, you can't really get much for a PS4 anymore. Not here, anyway. Especially since, you know, when they came out with the PS5, they made it backwards compatible. So, yeah. But a lot of the stuff that I do, I just do because I want to fix it. It's not worth fixing, but I do it anyway, just for the doing. All right. 29 pin connector. Saw a piece of hair or something. Get that out of the connector. These things this one's in good shape. Because a lot of these will be just burned up and from liquid damage. Okay. I think I've got enough cables to try this. Yep, for the sake of fixing. Because, I mean, let's face it, there is a lot of satisfaction. There's a lot of satisfaction in taking something that does not work, you know, is supposed to never work again, and basically has no value, and turning it into something, you know, that has value. It's very satisfying. Okay, can you see my little ammeter here? That's hooked to a standard switch power supply back there. So in theory, we should get 15 volts if it's negotiating properly. 15 volts, and ooh, we went to 0. That didn't look good. That looked like a short. Oh, wow. Something shorted. This could be fun. 15 volts, and then it just kills the whole supply. Does that look like fun? I'm just trying to catch up on chat. We got, how many people we have here now? Oh, 72? Wow. Thank you all for coming. As I struggle with a switch light. Okay, where is my... I have a breakout board for the USB-C. This might be an appropriate time to use it. Keep doing that. Where is continuity? All right. Do we have a short? No, that's ground. That's going to be shorted. That's not. V-bus is not shorted. That's one of the communication channels. It's not shorted. That's yeah, pin 5, B5. This as it's labeled on this breakout board. Some data lines, sideband, V-bus again. That's ground, ground. I'm guessing it's not a hard short on V-bus because it doesn't show to be one. Wait a minute. That's not good. That's one of the communication channels for your basically your charge control. Is 18 ohms to ground. The other one over here is 450 ohms, which also seems low. Let me go to resistance mode. Since I'm using my multimeter in remote mode, I have to do everything on my laptop over here, and I keep reaching up, and it will, the front panel buttons on my meter will ignore me because it's in remote mode, so I have to actually reach over to the side. 200 k ohms there on that one, and this one is going to be like 18 ohms. So those lines, A5 and B5, go straight to the M92. They go straight to M92. So why didn't I check M92 while I had the board out? So, because I thought, I didn't see pins, you know, crossing over on each other. But apparently something has crossed over. The M92 has crossed over. I do have some of those. I have quite a few parts coming right now from AliExpress for these things. Of course, it always takes, you know, several weeks. I did finally go ahead and order some of these cables that cross over from one side to the other here. Because sometimes I can patch on them and fix them. Sometimes they're just gone. There's nothing left. So, let go, fan connector. Let go. There we go. Trying really hard not to do more harm than good as I take it apart. All right, let's take a look under the microscope at this M92. Well, I know it's got to be dead. The M92 is the frontline defense. It protects the fuse. The M92 says, "I'll take the hit for you. Don't worry. Don't worry about it." All right, I'm still in resistance mode. I think you can see that. Let me find a good ground. It's usually this middle capacitor shorts. Yeah, 1 ohm. How about these others? 4K ohms. 2.8 ohms on that one. Is that showing up all right for you guys? I'm a little bit out of focus, aren't I? Just a little. Yeah, those two channels that I was reading, the ones I was the A5 and B5 that I was checking. Is that right? Yeah. On the port, they go straight into here and up there. There's one of them, 18.5 ohms. I think it's pins 35 and 37, best I can remember. If I can get on it. Yeah, that's low also, 200 k ohms, that's low. Should be about like a meg or two there to ground. All right, the M92 it is. And I used to hate replacing these things. David, I can't tell you things changed. As far as the shipping from AliExpress, I can't say anything's changed. Of course, I haven't. Let's see, I've gotten in one order maybe since then, but I think I had already placed the order before the tariffs. I haven't noticed a big pricing change or shipping. I don't know. It may be coming. Let's hope not. I think we've all enjoyed the, the prices of some of these parts. It makes some of these repairs, practical. There's a M92, a little chipped on the corner there. Odd. Come on, there we go. Get out of there. I apologize for being out of focus. Oh, come on. Got to lower down the boom a little here. The arm. Alrighty. And yeah, I always tin the M92 when I do it. Your mileage may vary. Do as you will. Oh, I'm out of the picture again. How about up here? Oh, I didn't mean to get that on that. There we go, came off. I'd like a little bit on that center pad, but not much. Yeah, I'll take that. All right. Let me set that to the side and clean my mess up before I put the board right back into that mess. Okay. Now, where were we? I believe I'll use my nozzle for this one. I may jinx myself here, but I used to hate changing these M92s because it was so easy to knock components off at the side. And that was always the biggest fear. And I have a nice little board holder for these things. Can't remember the brand. Stick vise. Nice little holder to hold the side of these things, but this M92 was so close to the edge, and the jaws of that stick vise are plastic, so yeah, I tend not to use it for this. Because I don't want to melt it. Okay, that one's off. Put a little more flux down. Premium Kingbo flux. Sourced directly from the Kingbo region of China. Ethically taken. I don't know. I'm trying to see the dot, and once you get stuff on it, I think it's like this. It's ethically sourced. That's the word I was looking for. I think they have from the Kingbo tree in China. If they tap it like maple syrup and it comes running out. Yes, I'm burning my finger. Yeah. It's a little bit crooked. We got to get turned a little bit here. That's a little bit better. Turn my tweezers over. little crooked. A little bit crooked. Let's see if we can nudge that a little. It may jump in on its own. There it goes. It decided to straighten itself up a little. I'll make sure it's down all the way. Well, since that slaughter ball popped out the side, I'm going to say she's down all the way. Oh, come on. Just leave that alone. They look fine. Sometimes you just want to mess with them. And you know you really shouldn't. It looks fine. Leave it alone. Okay, is that out of focus again? I'm sorry, it looks in focus to me. It is Chinese. It's probably sold as Vaseline in China. It's probably sold as motor oil and, you know, sold under 10 different names and the same thing. I should buy my own tree. Maybe I can put room in the backyard. I could put a nice king bow tree. I could source my own. Cut out the middleman. Let's see if I can. Just try to let that cool off a little. Just a little. Yeah, I've used king bow because it's cheap, and I'm cheap, and it got the job done. I mean, I bought other stuff, and I can't remember the brand. And this stuff worked fine. It's more expensive. And these syringes I've used, I bought it. You know, what's the brand that Northridge sells? Amtech Flux. I bought it from him. But these syringes are the ones where I bought the flux from. I've just been refilling them with king bow. Because I'm cheap that way. It works. I mean, I'm sure there's better fluxes. I'm sure there are. I have no doubt. Did I make a mess on this side too? I know Computer Bear uses king bow also. He does the same thing I do. He just refills his syringes. I've got 2 more full syringes on the counter there, ready to go. I haven't been using it much because I haven't had a chance to do anything. This has been my first opportunity in a while. All right. Does that look factory fresh? Almost. Except for that tiny amount of flux that I left right up there. Okay. I can check. We still got the meter in the corner. We should not have that short anymore. I'm rather sure we do not. So there, that's in the K ohms. That's in the K ohms. And that is 125 ohms. I can't remember if that's normal or not. Seems kind of low. but I don't have it memorized. What about pins 35 and 37? Get a couple of 10 ohms. That's not good. Why is that 10 ohms? Why is that 10 ohms? Something's up. All right, that's 2.5 mega on that. That looks normal. That's on pin 37. That's one of those communication channels. That's not normal. So I'm going to test this, but I think what's going to happen is it's only going to charge on one side. Yep, it's only going to charge on one side. That's going to be my guess. Yeah, I don't think... let me see if I can go back to the overhead here. I'm going to put it in here, but I'm guessing I've damaged the M92. Unless that 10 ohm short's in the port, which is a possibility. I should have checked probably. I assumed that short on that, on that communications channel pin was the M92, and it may have been. But while I had the M92 off, it had been the perfect time to have checked. I think she's going to charge one way now. That's my best guess. Why are you not sitting down? Oh, I think I see why. Yeah, that little directional pad popped up. It does not want to stay. I've had a couple of these here lately that I replaced the M92, and it seemed to be only partially working. So I can only assume that I am damaging the M92 when I install it. Let me get these ports. Let me get these. Yes, I need the microscope to put these things back in there without damaging them. I don't trust my naked eyes because I don't want to replace one. Well, I will if I have to, but let's not make more work for ourselves. No, you're still not lining up. This usually means I'm in a hurry. There we go. If I'm right, she's going to charge on one side, and she'll probably will boot. I need to hook that up. Hopefully this time it's not shorting out the charge. Did not check around BQ, you know. BQ is pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Okay. What's she gonna do? Let me get my leads out of the way here. What is she gonna do? Fine, we did not negotiate 15 volts. About the other way. Nothing. That one is 5 volts and nothing. So, oh well. The only thing to do is take it, I guess, how much I sell a PS5 for? $300 without controller. Actually, I sell them for $300. Usually. Unless it's, you know, an early firmware. I've had a few of those here lately. Those I've gotten 400 for, 500. I still have a 6.02. I have not listed yet. I just hadn't gotten around to it. And I've got another one over on the workbench. Well, no, it's fixed. You may not remember. I did a video. Had one with a hole burned in the PCB, a PS5. You know, the sometimes when those DR MOS IC short, they burn a hole. And I ended up just calling that one off. I didn't, you know, I had it working and it died. Well, I went back and I fixed it. I did. I went and I dug that hole out and cleaned it all out and put a new chip on there. And I let it run over here for like 24 hours. Just put it in the game. And I had a rubber band on the controller, so it's sitting there spinning the character around, around, around. And it's just running away. But it's just sitting over off to the side. I just want to see if it did come back. A lot of people were saying, yeah, you could, in the comments, were saying you could fix that. So I went back and fixed it. I know what I'm going to do with it. All right, the thing to do now is take this M92 back off. And let's just see what's shorted and what's not. It looks so darn pretty, though. I really hate to take that thing back off. Oops. There I go again. Microscope. I mean, look at it. It looks so pretty. And yet it needs to come off. Because like I do have, there's some low resistances around it, like on the port. Maybe I messed up the port too. I have done that before. Some of the pins could have shorted under the port. It happens. It's frustrating. It's time consuming. And it's all part of this game. Come on. There. At least now I'm able to remove these M92s without knocking 5 or 6 components off that I can never get back or find or whatever. Now, let's look at let's get the meter. Still in resistance mode. Board is still pretty hot right now. What do I see? Make sure what do I see right here? I'll make a contact. Probably not going to say anything because it only goes to that. That's amazing. You got 6 megohms of resistance there, and the only thing it goes to, well, you may be charging that capacitor, but it only goes to the IC. It's probably charging up though, combined with the fact that it's really, really hot. What about that pin? 58 megohms. That's where I had that 10 or 20 ohms earlier. So that goes back to the port and does not seem to be bad. And this one here, it's not shorted either. So I think the port is good. Let me go to continuity mode, just for the heck of it, just to show something. I'm sure a lot of you out there already know this, that those pins. What did I do with my breakout board? There it is. So I'm going to plug this breakout board in down here. See? And I'm in continuity mode, and I'm going to put a probe right there. And I'm going to go up here. This should go to right there. Directly there, right? And here's the other one. It's corresponding one. A5. Should go to the one right up here. Yep. Directly. So I'm saying if you've got a problem on that line, it's either the M92 or it's the port, because it doesn't go through anything else. So I think my port's good. So is it just the luck of the draw on the M92s, or did I overcook it? Did I overcook the M92, or it's also possible to cool it down too quickly? Oh, you need a housing for a 1015? I might have a housing for a 1015. Hidden away in my closet of horrors over here. So, was it a bad? I'll tell you what I've done before. I'll take an M92 right out of the bag here. I don't know if I want to do this or not, but when I had trouble one time before, I actually checked one of these things before I ever did anything to it to see if it was bad out of the drawer before I touched it. Maybe not this time. Maybe next time. But I have done that before. Just do resistance checks, on I believe it's 35 and 37 on those pins, because I've had this happen before. And either the chips are bad or I'm damaging them. These came from Injured Gadgets, and I think they usually have pretty good stuff. I do have some more coming in an AliExpress shipment. That is, well, it's somewhere between here and China. I think I saw it's in the States now. It's been handed over to the Postal Service. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. All righty. All right. I'm going to throw another port on there. I think I'm going to back the heat. I think I was running 400 on my hot air. Because that's what I took it off, the other one off with. Of course, the other one, the one that was originally on there was, lead-free solder, and this is leaded. So I probably need to try to, let's be a little kinder and gentler. Let's try 350. You can email me if you want, David, at toltecmark@gmail.com. So, a needle plain thread. 350. Let's get this turned properly. Again, I can't see the dot. Let's see if I can get a little bit of heat. Okay, I can start to see the text. Spin it on around, on around. Is that right? I think that's right. All right. Let me do this at 350. Still a little bit crooked at the top. All right, and one thing I think I'm going to do, though, is I'm not going to try to clean it immediately. I waited a little bit the first time. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. Just a possibility I'm throwing out there. It may be possible to thermally shock these things. I'm going to clean the board a little bit around the edges, but I'm not going to touch these ICs. I mean, thermal shock is a real thing. So I'm going to let it cool off a little before I do anything to it. Okay, from upper to lower, the way I've got the board oriented, 58 K ohms. K ohms, in the K ohms is what I was expecting to see. Couldn't remember exactly though. Yeah, I've hit mine with 400. I've done it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting bad M92s. I don't know. So when you don't know, all I know to do is to try to change something. You know, not just do the same thing I did last time and hope for it. I'll try to. That's one of those debates you end up having is it better to use 350 and it probably take you a little longer to get it to temperature, or is it better to use 400 and spend a little less time? Discuss amongst yourselves. I don't want to argue about it, but you know what I'm saying that's a debate. Which is better? Which is better? Whichever one works for you is the one that's better. All right, I can put my hand on her so she's not really too hot now. Well, I wasn't expecting to struggle with this simple switch light repair. But there you go, that's what you get. That's what you get. All right, how about some resistance checks before we do anything else? I'll check those capacitors up there. I'm going to try to make sure that everything's in the shot. Board's still a little bit warm, but not bad. 668 ohms, that seems low. 1 ohm, that's a little low. And 3 ohms. I'm not even going to plug this thing in. I keep slipping there. 667 ohms. 1.5 ohms, 3.7 ohms. What about pins 35 and 37? Not that it matters at this point. 13 ohms and 400 ohms. So, yeah, I'm not even going to bother plugging that one in. Are these crappy M92s? It's a possibility. That's a strong possibility. I hope that every one of these I have is not garbage. Let's take a look, shall we? This is the strip I've been taking them out of. What do you think? Fakes? And I think I will go ahead and check one of these things without putting it on the board. Okay, let's do this. So here's our orientation. I don't remember what the review. Sometimes the reviews are just fake. We have 90 people watching. Okay, this is what I want to do though. You see the orientation. This is how it should be oriented. So we've got those capacitors hooked to these top 3 pins on the corner. So if I just flip this over and let it go flying. If I just flip this over, like so. Oh, this is the next problem I end up with is this is not ground. I mean, I know it connects to ground on the board, but when you're taking resistance measurements, it doesn't help you. I need a ground pin. I need a ground pin. I need a board view. I think, I can't remember. I've had to do this before and had to locate a ground, and I used to know where it was. Oh. I could just launch Flex Board View and then open a recent one because that's the last thing I worked on. Yeah. So how can let me see if I can share my screen. Do I not have a I don't have a scene set up for it. Oh, I can find ground. It's just, it's a bit fiddly to try to, make it not go flying through the air as you're trying to do it. But I just need to be reminded where ground is on this thing. Rotate, rotate. Okay. Cap, cap, cap. 36, 35. That's a no connect. No connect. Where's ground? It can't be that hard. There's ground. Pin 1 is ground. Okay. Pin 1 is ground. So, I believe is that right? I think this is going to be pin 1 right up here. And then if we go to here, I think that's pin 1. I'm not getting a reading. Well, there's 1264 ohms. 1213. I think that's ground. That's the one that lands right there. Yeah, that's ground. So they don't seem to be shorted right out of the box. If this is like, these two won't be connected, but I believe that's pin 1. I believe that is ground. So this would be like pin, and it's gone, and it's gone. Spin it back around, get it oriented back right. So pin 1, which would be here, ends up right up here. And that'd be the one where that capacitor connects. Open. Open. 1262 ohms. Which seems kind of low in itself right there. Am I looking at this right? I think I am. Like if we flip this back over, that's how she would go. And we are looking at those, you know, let me check that resistance again on these pins. I'm sure they're still shorted. 670 ohms, 1 ohm, 3.7 ohms. And like this right here is the ground pin, I believe. Well, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that pin is grounded. But is it internally? Is it ground internally? Let me look at that data sheet. That's probably where I'm messing up. Let me look at the data sheet for that. It's the M92. Yeah, I've got some blue tack. So we think it's a fake one, huh? Let me find that data sheet for the M92. Where did it go? M92 T30. It's one of those things, I know I have that data sheet. I know it's right here in front of me. Oh, the part number is BM92 T30. I was looking for M. All right, so ground, as far as this chip is concerned, well, that doesn't show, that doesn't give me pin numbers. Bear with me here. Here's a pin number. Ground, 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 ground. No, this doesn't give pin numbers either. Okay. No, it does say pin 1 is ground. Yeah, on the description. Pin 1 is ground. Pin 8 is ground. Pin 27 is ground. But all right, that's good enough. Pin 1 is ground. And pin 40, 39, and 38 are the ones that are connecting to those capacitors for the internal LDOs. And right now, out of the box, this is not showing shorted. Pin 1 40, 39, 38, although 38 shows 1260 ohms. So that's that bottom capacitor. Isn't that supposed to be like, you know, several K ohms? Oh, did they make it? I don't know. So, I don't know. Are these, I can tell you what I can do. I can pull one from another strip. I will set that one to the side. I'll set that strip of them off to the side. And but these all came from, you know, Injured Gadgets. All right, does this one look any better? It is some, it is not very bright printing on there. It isn't. If that's a deciding factor, I do have the original one here. We'll put it side by side with the original. What did I do with it? I laid it. Where did I lay the original? Okay, let me get that. I've got a white paper towel under this, and it's making the camera seem like, you know, iris down or something. There's your good shot of the font. It's not terribly bright and white. Where's the one I took off? Where is the one I took off? Oh, I see. I laid it on the lid back here. I think this is it right here. Unless I'm getting them mixed up, which is always a possibility. Probably go by that. Now these all have that same number, 233658, which you would assume would be like a lot number or something. I don't know. I don't have any others laying on the desk here. I cleaned off my... One of these is the original one I took off. And they look very similar. Now this is the new one that I haven't done anything with yet. All right, I'm going to try it. This is I have a whole different strip of them. Not that that means anything, I know. I just have a bad feeling that none of these are going to work. I think I've used some of these though. All right, we'll give it a try. Just not getting a warm fuzzy feeling from all these things. If these are fake, what can I expect for the ones from AliExpress? Probably not much better. Like I said, this one here, like I never applied power to it. Never applied power to it. Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to find some more M92s. I gotta get another grip. I'm burning my fingers. There we go. Have to find another supplier. Now, I know fakes exist for a lot of chips anyway. A lot of MOSFETs and stuff like that. These are a little bit crooked. All right, I'm gonna let it cool off. I'm not even gonna clean it. I'm gonna let it cool off a little, and we'll take some resistance measurements. And if I've got one on the ground on any of those capacitors, I've never seen. I'm going to measure it first. I'm not going to do anything. I didn't apply power to the last one. I never applied power to it. I used 350 is what I used. Is that too much, Uber Micro? Do you think that's too much for this board? You tell me, is 350 too much? I mean, you could probably do it at lower. It'd take a little longer. You could probably do it at 325. I'm not sure how many layers are in this board. Probably at least 6. I haven't been micro soldering for 15 years. I can tell you I have not. I've done a lot of soldering, but not micro soldering. It's going to be about the last 5 years for me. Yeah, they're all soldered down. All right. Still a little bit warm. I'm not going to clean it. I'm not going to look at it sideways. I don't think 350 should hurt this chip. Unless you just sit there and just, you know, hammer it on it forever. And I don't think I did. So what? Top capacitor. Open. 1861. Not sure about that. 1268. Those both seem low to me. Because the board is a little bit warm, but 1287. Those seem low. Unless it cools off and those come up, but that's still not good. This 35 and 37 should be like 1 meg or 2 meg. I'm in continuity. Let me go to regular resistance mode. No, I can't do it there. Just go to regular resistance mode. Okay, 61 k ohms. 10 k ohms. Maybe the problem was I was in continuity mode. I don't think continuity mode was giving me 2 ohms resistance to ground. But this is regular resistance mode. We're in the k ohms. We're at 300 k ohms or something there. 10 k ohms. What about on this one? Yeah, 2 meg on 37. Here's 35. 2 meg. That will work. Sorry if my continuity mode is messing with me. I've never had that problem before. All right, I'm going to clean this a little bit. That looked promising. Would we agree? Does that look promising? Oh, you want a diode reading on those pins? We can do that. We can do that. Am I in diode? I am in diode mode. All right. If I can. 0.348, 0.514, 0.349. Not terrible. And then what about that pin 37 down in there? 48 and 35. 48. I mean, I'll take that. Is that perfect? I don't have it memorized. That looks good. All right, I think that'll work. So this strip of M92s I have is still in question. I don't know, maybe my continuity mode is lying to me. But I don't think it's gonna give me a 2 ohm short to ground. I just don't think so. All righty. Now, I've made them. Of course, the flux is cold now. It doesn't want to let go. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't thermally shocking it in some way. Oh, come on. Now I'm just getting threads everywhere. Fibers. All right. Now, slip it back in the chassis and see if we can not short out everything. Tweezers, tweezers, tweezers. Get those out of the way. Fan connector. No. Are we sitting down? I think we're sitting down. Is it going to work this time? Actually, I think it will. I think it will. Let me go back to the microscope a second so I can get these connectors back in. I need to clean off my tweezers. Try not to get flux all over this connector before I put it in there. Try not to cause more problems. Come on. Heavy sigh. I'm not going to damage the connector. going to damage the connector. So I get in a hurry, I know what will happen. I know what will happen because I've done it before. Let me get that battery connector. All right. I think we have all the prerequisites. Enough for it to try to work anyway. What's it going to do this time? Hopefully no more flashing USB ammeters. Let me get my leads out of the way. Okay. Let's see. That looks good. Is it going to reboot? Yes, it is. Hey, look at there. All that struggle. 1%. It's the little victories. All right, this one here I'm going to have to, I'm going to try to glue the mount for the little Joy-Con here. And that's going to be painful and tedious and time consuming. So I'm going to do that later on off camera. Anyway, that was fun. That was fun. I don't know why I struggled so hard there, but yeah, I guess I got a good chip that time. The fan spinning. There you go. That's good. How long have I been streaming? I have lost track of time. Oh, 2 hours. Coming up on 2 hours. Hey, thanks, Supermicro. David, thank you all for coming. I don't know if I want to try that other IC again. It is a Japanese one, so it may not, yeah. That could be a problem. Of course, I guess you could switch it to the other band, but yeah. $50 an hour? With it, docking? Well, this one won't dock, it's a switch light, so no problem there. This is stressful, doing stuff on camera with people watching. So it kind of tires me out. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming and joining me. I think Swindom is streaming about now. He'll have some good content, I'm sure. So what did we get up to as far as people watching, concurrent users? Where is that number? I don't know. 78 at the moment. Well, thank you all for coming. I'm going to call it a day there and try to go off and do some other things I'm supposed to be doing. But I do appreciate you all looking over my shoulder and helping and giving suggestions, giving encouragement. Yeah, I'm still learning on the live stream. I'm not great at it, but I'm getting better. You know, I've only done it a handful of times. I'll get better, and hopefully, we get on in the summer, I'll have more time to do it. I'll have more time to do some streams and some videos. It's just, time is kind of, you know, shorthanded. I'm kind of short right now on time. So, okay. Well, that's it for now. You know, enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.